now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the 5AA forecast, mostly sunny for the rest of the afternoon, a shower or two tomorrow, 20. For Saturday, sunny and 22, and mostly sunny and 22 on Sunday. Right now it is 19 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
On 9 News, SA's top doctor pleads with parents to help curb children vaping. A moving memorial for a young Adelaide footballer who died after an on-field collision. The smart device slashing winter power bills. How thieves are using a high-tech hack to steal cars. And Adelaide succeeds in finally securing future day-night tests. I'm Kate Collins. See the full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
Were you a fan of Roy Orbison, Simon and Garfunkel, Frankie Valli, Cliff Richard, or the Bee Gees? Well, don't miss the all-new Robertson Brothers 1960s variety TV show with special guest stars Simon Brooke McLaughlin from the Jersey Boys and the #1 Roy Orbison tribute artist Dean Bourne. The Robertson Brothers 1960s variety TV show.
Her Majesty's Theatre, Adelaide, June 29.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Now more than ever, you need an agent who's not just out for a quick sale. You need someone who can stand their ground to ensure you're maximising your home's potential. There's a good reason Toop and Toop is defying market trends and continuing to deliver premium outcomes for its clients. With a history spanning almost 40 years and a team of unrivalled experience, Toop and Toop knows what it takes to maximise your results in any selling conditions. Visit toop.com.au to find out more.
No, it's a pleasure, so look around at your leisure.
So why buy an Island Star caravan? Well, there's thousands of them on the roads all over Australia. They're built for luxury and to stand the test of time. With 5 decades of service to Australia, go with the people you can trust. Knowles Island Star Caravans. You'll love the way they do business.
Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans.
4. Ah, you've sliced it. And you've hit a windscreen. That's my car. Mate, again. Yeah, another hole in one.
With RIA Comprehensive Car Insurance, you're covered for unlimited windscreen repairs or replacement with no excess, so you can
keep on moving on.
T's and C's exclusions and limitations apply. Consider the PDS and TMD. Product issued by RIA Insurance, available from RIA.
Come on, the rise and win.
$13.95. Adelaide's 5AA. This is Jade Robran.
Bring a song and a smile for the banjo. Money, money, money,
Welcome back to the program. It is time for the Money Show, and we would love you to call in and ask Lachlan, Harvey or Brenton Meagle from Goldsborough Financial Services any question that you'd like about your financial situation. Guys, welcome to the program. How are you?
Thanks, Jade. Terrific.
The budget was handed down during the week. Was there anything that you guys took out of that can, considerably change your world?
Well, it's a highlight on the entertainment calendar, obviously, Jade, watching it on TV.
I don't think I've ever watched one.
No? Okay. Well,
no.
We don't often get a lot of insight as to what goes on in Parliament House, but budget night seems to be the one thing that people might tune in for.
Do you watch it?
Yeah, I tend to. Yeah.
I'm one of those boring old people that'll sit and watch the budget. And my wife just shakes her head at home and goes, "Oh my god."
I'll be binging Netflix in the other
Correct.
room.
That's absolutely
I'm with
right.
your wife.
So not that I'm going to rush to watch the budget and reply speech tonight, just quietly.
Yeah. Well, that'll be interesting. Anyway, it's handed down. What were your takeouts?
Well, the big takeout obviously is that we've got a surplus for the first time in 15 years, which is good news, but obviously it will be short-lived.
Yeah.
At least that's the expectation. And look, that's good economic news. And I suppose the other part of it really is that the real focus was on dealing with the inflation issue. Mm-hmm. And that's public enemy number one, because inflation just erodes people's wealth, and it does it really sort of slowly. People don't really notice it, but it creeps up over a period of a couple of years, and you go, wow, I'm really paying a lot for my groceries, my power bills, and I'm not earning as much. And if you've got money invested in a bank account at 4%, and that's sort of the going rate these days for a decent interest rate, you're still losing money at 3% if inflation is 7%, right? Because the difference between the two has you losing money over time, and that has the potential to erode people's retirement savings.
Yeah, and I guess from that perspective, what the government's done, and I hark back to the COVID situation of 3 years ago, where everyone felt like the government's handing out money hand over fist to keep the economy going.
Oh, we loved them then.
It was fabulous, absolutely brilliant. And I've said to many clients, it wouldn't have mattered whether it was the Liberal Party in government, which they were, Labor, or the Happy Birthday Party. There was going to be money thrown to keep the Australian economy going. We haven't quite got that situation this time round, but I think what's been some fairly responsible, let's help people where we can, hopefully without it being inflationary. That's really what the government's, that's the double-edged sword that they've got, is make sure that what they do in terms of handouts doesn't cause more inflation. So it's slaying that inflation dragon, which is, the Reserve Bank has done that to an extent, or is doing that with the raising of interest rates, but that only impacts about a third of Australian households directly. So
and the wrong group of people, really, isn't it?
In some respects, yes. So it's it's the renters. So we've got rent assistance going up a little bit each fortnight. So that's going to help those that are renting. We've got the Medicare side of things with some bulk billing capabilities that are going to happen. So it's I say at the periphery, but it's going to impact a lot of people directly, and I think that's a good thing.
And when you say a third of people, that's people with mortgages. I find it really interesting that the figures are really quite a third. So 1/3 of people have a mortgage, 1/3 of people own their own home, and roughly 1/3 of people in Australia are renting. Yeah, that's the balance of where we're at today.
It'd be nice to be in the third that don't have a mortgage, wouldn't it? That'd be
I look forward to that day
lovely.
personally.
Me too.
Money can't buy happiness, Jade.
I love that coming from you. That's brilliant.
But I tell you what,
yes, it can.
seven numbers on Saturday night wouldn't go astray.
Oh, even tonight, I just got a little reminder. Guys, let's talk about some topics. But if you'd like to ring in and ask either Brenton or Lachlan a question about your situation, could be super. Look, it could be planning for the future, could be something now, anything at all. 8223 0000 is the number to call. So there's a few changes coming to superannuation. The guarantee payments that are coming into effect 1st of July 2026. Talk to us more about that.
Okay, so currently if you're employed, you should be getting 10.5% on your salary. That's as a super contribution. So that's compulsory super for employers to pay. On the 1st of July, that goes up to 11%. So it's not an insignificant
as of this
increase.
year, not 2026.
Yeah. So what's happening in 2026? At the moment, your employer is required to pay superannuation every 3 months.
Yep.
So they pay at the end of March, June, October, December. A lot of employers are paying on a monthly basis, so they're trying to pay it as reasonably and as quickly as they can. From the 1st of July 2026, it's proposed that on the day you get paid your salary, your superannuation fund will also receive your contribution. So if you're paid weekly, all of a sudden you're going to have your superannuation paid on a weekly basis. Right. So we think that's actually a really good thing. So it tries to get rid of a little bit more of that potential for an employer to miss a payment or to miss several payments, and all of a sudden you've not had your super contributions you'd expect.
Absolutely. So now if you earn $1,000 in, at the start of January, you don't potentially get paid those super contributions until the end of April. That's too big a gap.
Yeah.
And for some employers, it might not be the end of April because they might be a bit slow in paying it. They might want to use your money for a little bit longer, and they might not pay it at all. So by paying more regularly, it means that people are far less likely to have their employer cheat them out of their superannuation dollars.
And what it then means for people with their super contributions is you're doing what's called dollar cost averaging. So we've talked a lot about salary sacrifice and putting money into super on a regular basis. So what that means is that irrespective of what investment markets are doing, you're getting this money put into your super on a regular basis. And if it goes in when markets are a bit low, so the share market's fallen, your super contribution goes in, that's okay because you're actually getting a better investment over the long term. It will make more money over the long term. So from a financial planning perspective, we think it actually achieves two really good goals. One is getting that money into your super fund on a far more regular basis. And two, irrespective of what markets are doing, you're going to make more, or it's going to grow more over the long term. And a figure I saw was for someone who's on the typical minimum wage, over their lifetime, it's going to give them about 1.5% better value or better return in their super fund. Again, it doesn't sound a lot, but it adds up over a very long period of time.
Speaking of employers that don't pay super, a couple of weeks ago when you guys were in, we had a listener ring in about her 16-year-old daughter, and she was questioning whether she was getting super or not. And we were talking about under the age of 18, whether you do or don't have to pay super.
Yeah, thanks, Jade. We did, and we probably got it 90% correct, but didn't go the extra mile and just clarify. So this was a situation where someone had two daughters, and both under the age of 18 and both working, and one was getting a super contribution and the other one wasn't. So we were just wanting to clarify what the rules are there. So for people under 18, employers are not required to pay super contributions unless that person is working more than 30 hours per week. All right, so
I think that's a bit unfair. I think if you're working, then you get super.
Yeah, well, I think that's right, and I think a lot of people would agree.
Yeah, well, the mum certainly, she thought that, didn't she?
Yeah.
And then, of course, you've got someone that might be working 30 hours in a week, but they might be doing it across two separate employers.
Yeah,
and so the 30 hours per week is per employer. So the payroll person at that employer would look at it and go, okay, they've worked 30 hours a week for us in this week, therefore we have to pay super for that week.
Right, and that would just have to be a one-off.
Yeah,
potentially
that's right.
It is a one-off. So if you're someone and you've got a couple of casual jobs, and one job you're doing 30 hours a week, and one you're doing 10 hours a week, in the 30-hour-a-week job, yes, you'd get paid super, but in the other one you wouldn't. Now, I would question at some stage whether the rules and regulations, the people in Canberra decide let's level the playing field and go, you know what, let's encourage the kids who are 16, 17 to get a job, and let's get super going a little bit quicker.
Definitely.
Look, I'm purely speculating. That's a watch this space, but it's an interesting one that if you work on average 28 hours a week and you're under 18, you're not going to have money put into super. And we actually jumped on the tax office website to check as well. And it's not a cumulative thing. In other words, if you have a week where you do, for argument's sake, a busy week with your casual job and do 50 hours.
Yeah, or it could be school holidays.
Yeah, and the following week you only do 10 hours, you go, all right, well, I've worked 60 hours over 2 weeks. It's not 30 hours a week, it's 50 in one and 10 in the other. So for 1 week, you got to get paid super, and 1 week you don't.
And therefore you've got to go to the effort of opening up a super account.
Correct.
And then you've got housekeeping fees within that super account.
Correct.
So in actual fact, it might not be worth your while being paid
you've
super.
You've got to be really careful how you manage it. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
But also for a lot of people under age 18, it's going to be their first job that requires that super contribution. So in those cases, the employer is required to open a super account unless that person's specified that they've got a super fund already.
Yeah.
Okay. If you'd like to talk anything to do with finances, your money situation, and would like some questions answered by Brenton Meikle or Lachlan Harvey from Goldsboro Financial Services, give us a call on 8223 0000.
It was yet another tough trip to the Cattery for the Crows.
Cameron goes inside 50, Brood around the body, and the Cats love another one.
Not a terrible performance overall, but not good enough to stop the classy Cats.
And there it goes. So the Cats have a 5th straight win.
Sunday Arvo on 5AA. It's another big challenge for the Crows, with the Saints marching into Adelaide.
Brilliant finish there from Isaac Rankin.
5AA is your home for football.
You've unpacked your winter wardrobe and dusted off the doona, but have you thought about rugging up your windows? Windows are responsible for up to 44% of heat loss in a room. Rundle Blinds can help you rug up your windows with great specials on custom-made curtains and energy-efficient duet shades. Right now, you can get 15% off all Luxaflex curtains and get prepared for winter. Visit the Rundle Blinds showroom on Goodwood Road or go to rundleblinds.com.au.
Lads, where are we thinking for our same race multi?
Let's see. With Ladbrokes, we can place one at Doomben, Moonee Valley.
Bet on more tracks and race codes than ever before with the Ladbrokes same race multi. T's and C's apply. See website for details. You win some, you lose more.
G'day, it's Rory Sloane. When you buy a Leader computer, you're buying a computer made in Adelaide. You're dealing with people that live in Adelaide. And when it comes to servicing or support, it all happens in Adelaide. Not overseas, not interstate. Leader don't have to send anything off for repair. They take care of everything here. So grow your business and get behind a Leader. Leader Computers, find your local dealer at leaderssystems.com.au.
Always expect the best from Adelaide Appliance Gallery, home of designer appliances, which means right now you'll save up to 15% on Falcon upright cookers, plus receive a special 10-year warranty for this month only. Also this month, Miele are offering a 10-year warranty. That's a 10-year warranty on Miele this month only. We can also arrange delivery, installation and removal of your old appliance. Adelaide Appliance Gallery, home of designer appliances, Payneham Road, St Peters. T's and C's apply.
Were you a fan of Roy Orbison, Simon and Garfunkel, Frankie Valli, Cliff Richard, or the Bee Gees? Well, don't miss the all-new Robertson Brothers 1960s variety TV show with special guest stars Simon Brooke McLaughlin from the Jersey Boys and the #1 Roy Orbison tribute artist Dean Bourne. The Robertson Brothers 1960s variety TV show.
Her Majesty's Theatre, Adelaide, June 29.
Go Vita, your local health food shops. Over 30 years health and wellness experience and over 300 natural health practitioners specialising in you.
Hi, I'm Wayne from Go Vita Mount Barker. This month we have a great offer on Fusion Astra 8 with astragalus, a traditional ingredients in Chinese medicine. Save up to 35% off 60 tablets, now $33.95, and 200ml liquid, only $37.95. Always read the label. Follow directions for use.
Go Vita, Colonnades, Fairview Green, Marion, Mount Barker, Monopara, Semaphore and Tanunda.
Stay warm this winter at Harvey Norman. Cozy up with the best in heated blankets and throw rugs, available in all sizes. Defrost by the fire with an electric fireplace with traditional and modern designs to choose from. Or keep the entire house warm with the latest panel, column and fan heaters from all the big brands. No matter the room, Harvey Norman has a solution for you and your home. Stay warm this winter and shop at Harvey Norman.
Here on Australia's highest mountain, Aldi is announcing Australia's lowest prices. We won't be beaten on your weekly shop. Aldi, good, different.
Jade Robran on $13.95, Adelaide's FIVEAA.
Welcome back to Afternoons. It is 24 minutes past 3 o'clock and we are coming to you on the live stream, all thanks to Foodland Supermarkets. Got a couple of questions here for you guys. Terry in Parkside, welcome to the Money Show. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Fire away. What would you like to ask Brenton and Lachlan?
Okay, so if a person is on a contract, should they be paid super?
So that presents a very interesting conundrum, to be honest, Terry. In doing some homework earlier today, looking at the Tax Office website about that earlier issue for the under-18s, there are certain circumstances where contractors can be paid superannuation. I didn't go into the details of it, to be perfectly honest, but there are other situations where a contractor is a genuine contractor in that they're providing their tax invoice, etc., and no superannuation's not paid. So there can be circumstances where contractors do get superannuation. I don't have the details in front of me for that. What I would be suggesting is have a chat to your tax accountant about it, because most people who are contractors, because of the taxation side of things, would use an accountant or a tax advisor. I'd have a word with your accountant, get them to do some digging to work out if you're in the category that yes, you might need to be paid super, or no, you're responsible for your own super.
Yeah, I agree. It can go either way, Terry, and that sort of sounds like the question is coming from someone that thinks maybe they should be eligible, but perhaps are not getting paid a super contribution.
My hunch is this was a couple of years ago now, where I was contracted by the Commonwealth Government.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure in the fine print of the contracts I signed, it would have said something about super. I mean, they would. So I was just curious to know if it was
Look, if it's
general answer.
certainly if you're signing a contract as a contractor. Now, when we say contractor, generally speaking, you're providing an ABN. You're not generally getting paid super. You're responsible for your own insurance and a whole lot of issues there. If there's a contract involved, certainly worth reading through to make sure. And you're right, it probably would have a superannuation clause in there. But as I say, worth double checking with your accountant or a tax advisor.
Terry, thank you so much. Let's go now to Hyde Park. Hello, Trevor.
Hi, how are you going, Jade?
Good, thank you, buddy.
Good. Yeah, good show. I have a question on behalf of a friend of mine coming from England. He's coming as underemployment agency on a visa basis for 4 years, where he'll be paid a salary and superannuation. The question is, can he guess salary sacrifice? I think I know the answer to that. But can he, when he goes back, leave the fund intact in Australian terms, in the super fund?
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of rules that apply to superannuation for non-residents, and in particular what those non-residents are able to do with their super balance when they return home. Your best bet as far as getting a guide to super for non-residents is on the ATO website. There is a whole section that outlines what the rules are and what the options are, particularly in terms of what happens to that money when you return home. Are you able to access it? I would suggest that would be the best guide. As far as sort of coming up with those rules off the top of my head, I think that I'd simply just refer back to the ATO site on that.
Okay. Trevor, thank you so much for calling in. What's happening with the allocated pension payments after the 1st of July?
So for the last 3 years, allocated pension payments. So an allocated pension is a superannuation fund that pays your regular income generally when you're retired. And for the last 3 years, the rules have been that only 50% of what's called the minimum payment has needed to be paid. At this point in time, we anticipate that will go back to the normal minimums. So what that means is if you're aged between 60 and 65, generally, you'll get the minimum is 4% of the account balance. Once you turn 65, it goes to 5% of the account balance. Once you turn 75, it goes to 6%. And if you happen to get to 95, for argument's sake, the minimum's 14% of the account balance. So we anticipate that it'll go back to the normal minimums. There's been nothing officially said from a government perspective, but we were in the same boat this time last year, and about a week before the 30th of June, the government came out and said, we'll keep the minimums at half their rates for the next financial year. So things could change, but right now we're saying to our clients and working towards things returning to normal.
And Jade, I have had lots of people ask me, why does the government make me take money out of my super in retirement? And it's not so much that they're making you spend that money, because really all it's doing is transferring from one account that you own into a bank account that you also own. But really what they're wanting people to do is use their superannuation throughout retirement, because it's not really intended to be a system where people can just keep on growing and growing their super balance for retirement. For a lot of people can be sort of a 30-year project, and the government doesn't really want that superannuation account balance to be growing throughout that period of time, because they're offering those account-based pensions as tax-free investments. So they're really attractive for investors and not as attractive for the government. So they want to limit the amount of money that people have in those sort of investments, and that's why they've put caps on essentially how much you can put into those investments at retirement. They're quite generous. At the moment, we're sort of $2.7 million is the upper limit for what you can put into those investments. And that's actually set to go up next year at sort of $1.9 million.
Yes, so it's 1.7 at the moment, going up to 1.9 mil. So if you're a couple and you've got $3.8 million in super between you, $1.9 million each, you're in a position where, financially, that's going to give you, I think, a pretty comfortable retirement income. And that's
You're booking a cruise.
And that's completely tax-free. There's no tax on the earnings of the fund, and there's no tax on the income you receive. So, yes, they've brought caps in. There's some people out there that have got a lot more than the 1.7 or what will be $1.9 million in super. they're going to be limited with what they can do.
And you're not going to get to those limits without a bit of planning, Jade. Not looking at you directly, I'm just talking to the audience.
Oh, no, you should look at me directly because I'm sitting here going, I am a fair way off, gentlemen.
It takes a bit of work to get to that point,
Absolutely.
obviously. Yeah.
So from our perspective, yes, as Lachlan said, there's lots of planning needed, but ultimately becomes a really good problem to have.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that problem to have. Guys, thank you so much for coming in. We were chatting with Brenton Meagle and Lachlan Harvey from Goldsboro Financial Services. And if you'd like to touch base with either of the gentlemen, you can jump online at goldsboro.com.au or give them a buzz on 8378 4000.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, Kerry Turner with the latest news headlines. Labor's housing package is unlikely to pass federal parliament in its current form after debate was blocked by the Coalition and the Greens. SA Health is today warning parents about the dangers of kids and e-cigarettes. The life satisfaction of Australians is at its lowest level in 21 years, according to an annual wellbeing index. And in sport, Dylan Grimes has signed on with Richmond for another season. The 5AA forecast, mostly sunny for the rest of the afternoon, then a shower or two tomorrow, 20. Right now it is 19 degrees. More news at 4 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
Hi, it's Jade Robran here. Every day this week we're celebrating the mums of South Australia. Do you know a mother or support person that needs some recognition? For your chance to win your mum some love and great prizes from 5AA, email us at onair@5AA.com.au or call in at 3:30 daily.
5AA Mornings with Matthew Pantelis.
On the budget and the fallout, let's have a chat with Dr. Andrew Lee, who is the Assistant Treasurer.
This is a budget which is calibrated for the times. We've got serious inflation challenge in the economy. We know we couldn't have just engaged in the kind of unfunded cash splash that our predecessors engaged in.
Weekday mornings from 9.
The cost of living relief needs to be targeted, otherwise it would be needlessly inflationary.
On 13.95, Adelaide's 5AA.
At Specsavers, we understand how important it is to hear well. We also understand that right now, the last thing you need is to pay more than you should for hearing aids. That's why we're making some noise. Because you deserve to know what you'll pay straight away with upfront prices. And our everyday low prices on latest tech hearing aids doesn't mean you'll miss out on quality or professional advice. So for hearing care for all, not the few, should have gone to Specsavers.
Hi, I'm Michelle from Goldsboro Financial Services. It's never too early or too late to start taking control of your financial future, and I can help you with all of your financial planning needs. Goldsboro specialise in a range of different areas, from wealth management, insurance, aged care and Centrelink to super and retirement strategies. It's all there on our website, so visit goldsboro.com.au and book your appointment today. Goldsboro, for all your tomorrows. Goldsboro Financial Services, AFSL number 225330.
You know, there's a really simple way to be sure the ham you're buying is made from Australian pork. You just look for a pink box on your packs. That way, you'll know the pork comes fresh from our farms.
And not shipped in from overseas!
Yep, a pink box on your pack also means the ham has passed Australia's strict quality controls. So your ham will taste great. So, for true Australian quality, just pick a pack with a pink pork logo. Thanks a lot.
Quality.
Just Quality are your home improvement experts, and there's no better time to save with up to 60 months interest-free with nothing to pay for the first 6 months on outdoor blinds, artificial turf, roller shutters, plantation shutters, roof restorations and re-roofing. Save on your home improvements today at Just Quality with up to 60 months interest-free. Conditions apply.
Just dial 1300 813 813.
No, it's a pleasure. So look around at your leisure.
Experience caravanning the way it was meant to be. Island Star simply do it better. New or used, go to the people you can trust. Knowles Island Star Caravans. With Knowles, you're protected by a nationwide guarantee and better after-sales service. Knowles Island Star simply do caravanning better.
Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans, Knowles Caravans.
Embark on a journey of unrivaled excellence with Viking Cruises and Phil Hoffman Travel. Whether it's cruising the rivers of Europe, Egypt or Southeast Asia, Viking offers travellers a wealth of cultural enrichment, culinary explorations and local delights in unparalleled style and comfort. Viking's 2024 and 2025 river voyages are on sale now, with savings up to $6,600 per couple. T's and C's apply. Contact Phil Hoffman Travel or visit pht.com.au.
5AA's Weekend of Footy, thanks to EcoVantage. Install an energy-efficient heat pump with EcoVantage. Pump your energy bills down. EcoVantage.com.au. Jade Robran, talking Adelaide on 1395 5AA.
Welcome back to Afternoons. It is 3:36 on this glorious Thursday afternoon, the 11th of May. After 4 o'clock, we've got the Sports Show with Timmy G and Rowie coming up. And don't forget, we are live streaming on the Foodland Supermarkets live stream. A little later in the program, we are talking to, well, someone that is nominated as a very special person in their lives. Of course, it is Mother's Day on Sunday, but you know what? It doesn't have to be your mum that you want to talk about. It could be your wife. It could be an auntie or a cousin. It could be your best friend. Just a special somebody in your life that you're going to celebrate on Mother's Day, because I have got a $100 voucher for Uggs to You, all thanks to Vlas and his family. Uggs to You, local manufacturers of beautiful, comfy, warm, handcrafted Aussie Uggs, and you can visit the team at Uggs to You, corner of Grange and Frederick Road in Seaton. Also on the program today, we've been talking about pet peeves. So lots of pet peeves coming in. You know, the wave when you've let someone in and they just simply ignore you. That, I get a little bit of rage about that. It is one of my real heebie-jeebies. Another one here from Gail. She says, I live in Salisbury Heights and I hear hoons constantly tearing down Target Hill Road and have very rarely seen a speed camera along this road. I'm sure if they set up a speed camera there, they would collect enough in speeding fines to cover the state's revenue for a year. And then a few more that have come through. Next doors, parking in front of my house instead of their own house. And, hi Jade, what irks me is the government keeps increasing the tax on the iconic red can. That's from Mike. The other one for me is when you're walking along and, you know, people haven't cleaned up after their dog. That's really gross. And I think I've told you guys the story a few times of when I was at a park and I saw a dog do his business and the owner was standing, I don't know, about 50 metres away having a good old gossip and a chat. She saw what her dog was doing and just completely ignored it. So I got the bag, picked it up, and then I tied it to the dog's collar so that when it would run back to the owner, there was a nice little present there for the owner. I should have stuck around actually to see the look on their face, shouldn't I? But anyway, we're talking pet peeves. What's your pet peeve? 8223 0000 is the number to call. Of the most beautiful, most scenic jobs in the world, Captain Kevin. He has been ferrying passengers across to Kangaroo Island on the Sea Link for the last 24 years. But now he has decided that it's time to perhaps spend some more time on the land. Captain Kevin, welcome to Afternoons. How are you feeling about finishing up?
Yeah, mixed emotions, Jade. Been a long time down working with Sea Link, and I'll certainly miss it. I will probably go back and do some casual work if they need me in the future, but yeah, a little bit more time to do my own stuff at home, but I'll definitely miss it for sure.
24 years in the same job, no one does that anymore. You must have really, really loved it.
Yeah, it's a great lifestyle down there. The crew are great to work with, and what better office can you have is looking out the bridge windows of a boat going backwards and forwards. It's different every day, so it's very good.
I bet there's been some hairy times.
You get some rough weather, but that's the minority of the time, I guess. A lot of days it's just nice and relaxing, but it's not so much hairy times. It's just battling the elements, I guess, and trying to make a comfortable ride for all the passengers.
What are some of the most memorable moments? Have you had anyone, go into labour or any surprises?
Not really surprises. Probably the best memories are just from nature, basically seeing whales going past and dolphins and things like that, really.
Oh, it would be absolutely magical. Do you remember your first day on the job?
I do, because I didn't have the qualifications to just step straight in and captain the vessel, so I had to do time down in the cafe and work through all the stages. And so I remember it was a full boat load of people. It was 353 people, and they actually asked me on that morning, can I make some coffees? And I'm not a coffee drinker, so I was struggling to know what a flat white was or a long black, and it was interesting to say the least.
Okay, so from coffee maker to Captain Kevin, talk to us about that transition.
Okay, so when you do your marine tickets, you've got to do a certain amount of what we call sea time on the vessel, different size vessels, to work your way up to certain levels. So it's probably it'd be about a 5 to 7 year process to get to the stage where you can actually captain the vessel.
Oh, wow. That's a really long time. How come? Why that long?
Well, it's just you've got to learn the marine industry. So there's you've got to go do a lot of study at the marine academies, and so you go do a certain, we call it a ticket, a certain size for a certain size vessel, and then you've got to go back and work another 3 or around about 3 years to get your sea time up, and then go to the next course. So you're constantly learning more and just getting general experience. And boat handling is way different to drive a little 5 metre boat to a 50 metre or 80 metre vessel.
How have you seen it all change in the last 24 years?
Definitely the numbers of people travelling to Kangaroo Island it really has changed, especially in the last few years since COVID. I think it's woken a lot of South Australians up that Kangaroo Island is such a beautiful place to visit, and lots of those people definitely come back multiple times.
Was some of the saddest times when the bushfires hit a couple of years ago?
Absolutely. That was very hard to deal with, especially with some of our crew live over there, of course, and you hear all the stories and you see all the locals travelling, and what do you say to someone that's just lost everything? It's you want to support them and help them, and there's very little we can do except comfort them, really.
Yeah, it's an incredible community, isn't it? I mean, what a blessing to be able to, drive in, sail in every single day and just be surrounded by awesome people.
Absolutely, and there's lots of you get to know lots of people, and there's different faces all the time as well with the tourists. But you get to know a lot of the local people, and definitely when the fire's on, you could feel their pain. We actually ran a lot more vessels that time to bring the CFS over the island and all that. So we were trying to do our best to help, and pretty much that's how Sealink contributed to that.
What's going to be the saddest part about walking away from the job? The part that you'll miss the most?
Probably, definitely working with the crews we work with, because we have generally 7 crew on board, so there's 4 sets of crews, and also definitely chatting to different people, the tourists, and you get so much sort of lovely feedback when you're talking to people that are coming back off the island, and 99% of them just say how beautiful it is and wish they had longer, and they're definitely coming back, and that's interstate tourists as well as internationals.
So what are you going to do with yourself now?
We've got a small family fishing business. We call ourselves Cape Calamari. So we're a local fishing business. So we go out and catch southern calamari squid and supply a few of the local restaurants on the FIVEAA Peninsula.
Mm. So what, Victory Hotel and Star of Greece and all of that, and maybe Salopian?
That's correct, yes.
Oh,
yes, we've
beautiful.
got a little run there where we deliver to them every week and supply them. It's and that's satisfying in itself, because a lot of seafood goes interstate now, but we've made a decision to concentrate on supplying the local people with local produce.
Oh, good on you. So you really you don't want to spend any time on land, do you?
No, I love the water, and that's what I actually did before I started working Sealink. I was running this business. I did that for about 18 years, and I decided I wanted a office that was air conditioned basically, and changed to that, and now I'm going to go back and help my son now. So no, it'll be good.
Well, they say once you buy a boat, you always want a bigger boat. So I guess driving the Sea-Link Kangaroo Ferry, I mean, it doesn't get any bigger than that.
No, it's all right, not around here anyway. But yeah, no, it's certainly a great experience and challenging at times, say when we have rough weather, but it's very good though. It's really good.
Oh, great chatting with you and all the best in, well, I guess it's not really retirement, semi-retirement.
That's right. No, I'll certainly be busy, that's for sure. But as I say, I'll be giving the boat away when it goes past us when we're out there catching some fish.
So who steps into your shoes now?
Oh, we've got a plan that's always there's someone underneath, like first mate, the first officer. So they've been driving the boats for, like as backups, we've always got two people on board that can drive the vessel. So one of those people will step up and then they'll train someone else up in the position below and then they'll step up if required later on.
Well, they've been in good hands, Captain Kevin. Enjoy and thanks so much for sharing all your stories with us.
No worries, Jade. Thanks. It's been a pleasure.
Captain Kev, what a remarkable effort that is, driving the Sea-Link ferry for 24 years. Some of the scenery that he would have seen would have been absolutely beautiful. Can I ask, what is the longest you've spent in a job? Have you knocked up 20 years somewhere? I'd love to hear from you and what job it was and what was the passion? Why did you love it so much to want to stay there for as long as you did? We are going to take a really short break. We'll be back soon.
To help build South Australia's future, our young people need the skills to build theirs. That's why the state government is building 5 new technical colleges across the state. They'll help address our critical skills shortage and take high school students from in-school to in-demand in areas like advanced manufacturing and engineering, defence, early childhood education and health and social support. Get a head start to a hands-on career while completing your SACE. Find out more at technicalcolleges.sa.gov.au. A message from the Government of South Australia, Adelaide.
Bud, where are we thinking for our same race multi?
Let's see. With Ladbrokes, we can place one at Doomben, Moonee Valley.
Bet on more tracks and race codes than ever before with the Ladbrokes same race multi. T's and C's apply. See website for details. You win some, you lose more.
Do you live in a low mobile reception area? A Telstra Go repeater can help maximise your coverage, improving your call experience and giving you a more consistent data performance. And if you're a resident of the Mid-Murray Council area, you may be eligible for a subsidy of up to $888 on your Telstra Go repeater antenna and installation. To learn more, register your interest online or visit us at our Murray Bridge store. Program end date 30th June 2023. Offer ends once funding has been exhausted.
Are you ready to try a revolutionary hearing aid? The hearing experts at Audica are looking for people who want to keep living life to the full while prioritising their hearing health. Audica offers invisible style hearing aids and you may be eligible to give them a try for free for 2 weeks. Chat to your Audica clinician to find out if you are eligible. If you're over 26, book a free hearing check today. Visit audica.com.au or call 1-800-HEARING. T's and C's apply.
Tip Top bakes every day with Australian wheat. So whether it's raisin toast outside Rockhampton, English muffins near Mullumbimby, or sandwiches in Cabramatta, Tip Top is baked into Australia.
Now's the time to celebrate mums. Indulge in a menu featuring heartwarming recipes created by Elizabeth Hewson, and guest chef Rich Myers shares the only salted choc chip cookie recipe you'll ever need. Only in the Weekend Australian magazine this Saturday.
Shane here from Adelaide Exposed Concrete. Our first radio ad campaign, straight off the bat, I think the team here killed it with a great commercial, and we got recognised straight away, which lifted our branding. My advice to people is to do it. It does work. It just takes a little bit of time, and you've got to be willing to understand that not everything happens straight away. But once it starts to work, it's a fantastic experience. To hear people say, I heard your ad on the radio. I heard you on the radio today. Oh, your ad's so funny. Oh, you guys are terrific. You know, all these great comments that our company gets is really based off the ads that we've put out in FIVEAA over the last 6 to 12 months.
To get your message out there and grow your business, visit fiveaa.com.au and hit the Advertise With Us link.
Saying goodbye can be heartbreaking, but we see things differently. Our new litter of puppies need love and care before they start school to become a guide or assistance dog. Yes, one day you'll have to say goodbye, knowing that someone in need will have their life changed forever. RSB is now called See Differently, and we ask you to do the same. If you love helping others, please go to seedifferently.org.au to help raise a puppy and change a life.
$13.95, Adelaide's FIVEAA. This is Jade Robran.
Welcome back to Afternoons. It is 10 minutes to 4 o'clock, and of course, coming up after 4 o'clock, an action-packed sports show with Timmy G and Roey's coming up. Roey, what is happening?
Well, I love Thursdays. What's your favourite day of the week?
I like Thursdays because you know you're going into Friday, but
Yeah.
Fridays is always good because I do like Chris Jarma coming in.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah, because we get to have a chat and have a little bit of an eat, a nibble and a drink. I like Fridays.
Thursday was always selection night back in my day,
yep.
you know, playing through the 80s.
Yes.
And, you know, you're excited to get in the team and then, then your preparation started. Get off the cans.
I was going to ask you, do you have
Park the gaspers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you? Would you ever have, if you made the team, or when you made the team, a can to celebrate?
No.
No. So you off?
No.
Not until Saturday
We
night.
sort of like had a rule after Monday night, no drinking.
Yeah.
We had the odd time on a Thursday night if, you know, we used to go to the Kent Town Hotel if there was a reasonable band. Jeff and John, who played every Thursday night, was on. Nah, I'm not going to let any
Good old
secrets out.
days.
My teammates will ring me and I'll be in trouble. Nathan Van Berlo will come on. They've got St Kilda on Sunday. Talking McPherson or Hamill or Parnell to come in, but we'll have all of that with Brodie Smith as well. Caro after 5. Now, she always comes armed.
Yeah, she does. She's a guru.
She generally has a crack at me, and I don't know what I've done.
Oh, well.
Just the fact that I'm me.
Yeah. But you should leave that just to your wife, maybe. Now you got two women that have a crack at you all the time.
Caro.
And your wife.
Jodie doesn't have a crack at me.
Doesn't she?
I don't ever upset her. I'm not dumb.
Don't upset the boss.
Brodie Smith's coming in with his dad, Gordo, and he's going to be wearing fluoro boots. They had the dads and, what do you call it? Guys and
Father and son.
Yeah. Look, got the dads out in training. So apparently Gordo cut up, so we thought, well, look, we'll get him in and just tell us how good he was. But it'll be a big show. We're going to have some fun, and we will see you at 4.
Love it, Roey. Thank you so much. Hey, how long have you been working at FIVEAA for?
Oh, I don't know, 26 years.
There you go. We're talking, we've just interviewed a gentleman who was the driver of the Sea-Link for 24 years. He's retiring. So we're talking to people that have been in a job over 20 years. So there you go.
Well, just on that, we've got Andy Kay on from Channel 7.
Yeah, he was my old
40
boss.
years plus as the executive
he did
producer,
some
director.
great
He is a
things.
legend, apparently. His job was to make people great.
Well,
what a great job. Like, his job is, I've got to make people great. And he did. So there you go.
Oh,
40
he's
years,
undersold
take that.
himself. He was in charge of the Olympics, you name it. He's excellent. See you, mate. Thank you so much. Sports show coming up after 4 o'clock. Tim in West Richmond has given me a buzz. Hello, Tim.
Howdy, how are you?
Good, buddy.
So I've worked for the company I work for 35 years.
Wow. Doing what?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
So I started as a apprentice baker, and then I've moved into a leading hand role, and now I'm a team manager of like the distribution side of the bread.
What's the company called?
Goodman Filter.
Nice. So
Make
does,
Wonder White and Helgers and stuff like that.
oh, yum. Does that
Yeah.
mean that you've been waking up at the crack of dawn for all those years?
Well, it hasn't been like I started off like that, and I was working night shift, and then I sort of worked into afternoon shift, and now my role, I work just during the day, like 7 till 3.
Oh, good on you, mate. Thank you for calling in. And we got Michael on the line. Hi, Michael in Mitcham.
G'day, Jade. I'd just say I've worked at the same company for 45 years 2 weeks ago.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Started in April 1978 and still there and love it.
What are you doing?
I'm a pharmacy wholesaler rep, so I go and call on pharmacies and help them with their business, and lovely customers, good people I work with, so happy day.
I can hear that in your voice, how much you love it. I love a job where you're out and about chatting with people every day. And we got Warren in North Haven. How long have you been where you are?
Well, it's not myself, it's my father. He was in the one job for 57 years.
No. Doing what,
He
Warren?
was a tradie. He rocked in there as fresh out of school, did his apprenticeship, and then walked out the day he retired from the same job. Just incredible,
A
incredible
chippy,
guy.
or what did he do?
Sparky.
Good on him.
Electrician, yeah, no, he's great, and it was really funny because growing up we used to have the same routines. He used to get up at the same time every morning. I can still remember him getting up.
Yeah.
The school holiday, his annual leave was just after the January school holidays. Yeah, it was a structure that he had all his life, so he obviously very much enjoyed his job.
And did he pack his smoko every morning?
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, I can remember him getting up. He used to always sit in the same chair, obviously, like a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
Have his breakfast, leave at exactly the same time every morning. Yep, with the back in the old kit bag, leather brown kit bag, and off he'd go, and away he'd go to work every day. Same routine, and you knew exactly when he was going to be home. You knew virtually to the second of when the car was going to rock into the driveway.
Oh, what beautiful memories. Got a huge smile on my face. I think that is just beautiful. Thank you, Warren. Let's go to the Barossa where we find Charlie. Hi, Charlie. What's your story?
Yeah, I was at the Department of Aid for 33 years as a farmhand, and it was just a privilege to work. I did different things with sheep, cereal, and yeah, it was just a pleasure to work there. A lovely place to work, open air.
Oh, and good workmates?
Yes, it was a good workplace.
When did you retire?
2003.
Oh,
I left because the department downsized.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was still happy to be there yet.
Oh, good on you. I love that. All right, now we are celebrating mothers. As I mentioned earlier in the show, every day this week we've been giving away a $100 gift voucher to Uggs to You. And Pauline has called in. Pauline, lovely to have you on the program. Who have you nominated?
My daughter.
Beautiful. Tell us all about her.
No, she's got 2 children that need some help.
Mm-hmm.
The eldest one, a teenager, at school broke the arm in a compound fracture. She had to look after. He's still off after 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Then the daughter was sick, and then I had a fall, so she's my full-time carer now. Now, I know every mother, and there's carers out there, but to me, she does everything for me and helps me. I wouldn't be without her.
Oh, I love that very much, Pauline. How about we send her a $100 gift voucher to Uggs to You to celebrate Mother's Day, and what a beautiful person she is.
Ecstatic.
Excellent.
She's always wanted a pair but couldn't afford it.
Well, we would love to give her a pair.
Oh, thank you very much, Bucks.
Oh, pleasure, Pauline. Thank you for joining in. And you have a happy Mother's Day as well, okay?
And you too, love.
Thank you, lovely, very, very much. That is a wrap for today's show. Lovely to have your company. Lots of calls. Thank you so much. It always makes the day fly past. Have a great afternoon, everyone, and we'll have fun Friday tomorrow. Guys, I am so jam-packed, full of prizes, giveaways. We're celebrating mums and special people in your life, so make sure you tune in. Tomorrow's topic is, how has your mum embarrassed you in your life? We'll have a bit of a laugh. Have a great afternoon, everyone. See you later.
At Coles, you'll find a great range of Mother's Day gift ideas to treat mum, like half-price box chocolates, including Cadbury